YouTube, what's good with y'all? It's your boy GoMill. I'm back with another video. I told y'all we back on the consistent grind. I was not lying to y'all. Before we get into today's video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all showed a ton of love on the last video, and I'm just trying to make sure we keep that consistency going. You feel me? But yeah, let's go ahead and get into today's video, man. Now, Lone just sold 29K with If Looks Could Kill, and the first thing that popped up into my head was he's not underground anymore. Now, a lot of people may have already said, oh, he's already been past the underground at this point. What leads me to the point that an artist isn't underground anymore is when you know that their album does well, when their album sells well over the amount to where it gets reported. Now, 2 months ago, I made a list of the best underground artists of this year so far. If you follow me on Instagram, you have already seen the list. My Instagram is the same thing as my YouTube, GoMill 2 times, which is the same as my Twitter, which is the same as my TikTok. You have no excuse to drop a follow from me. Please. It doesn't take you 2 seconds just to show a nigga some support. Please. We're really just trying to make it out, I swear. But yeah, I made a list, and judging by the spots on that list, we might need to make some updates. Now, there is one artist on this list that has proven himself to be fully mainstream now, maybe 2 if you count Pierre in the process as an artist, and soon maybe a few more. This list definitely needs some touching up. Now, I started off the list with number 9, Pierre Bourne. I feel like he really needs no explanation. I feel like Pierre is one of the main examples of you don't have to be a good rapper to make good music. And when you're a godly, talented producer like Pierre, you can bring yourself a long way, I'm pretty sure. Not only did he bring song transitions back, but he put his own twist to them as well. As an artist, I feel like Pierre deserves an easy spot on anybody's list, whether you consider him an artist or not. Now, at the number 8 spot, I had Tony Snow. Tony Snow really does not give the recognition that he deserves. He is probably the most talented person in the underground. And with him just dropping his album Love Streak, I feel like he needs to be moved up a couple of notches. Now, I just spoke about Pierre, about artists that can't rap but can make good music. The thing is, Tony can make good music and he can also rap on top of that. Tony could probably even hang with most mainstream artists that are considered lyrical. Now, at the number 7 spot, I had Destroy Lonely. Now, if any Twitter Opium fans would have saw this list, they would have probably sent a SWAT team to my fucking house. Would have considered Lone to be the best in the underground, but I'm not going to just follow into the trap of following the trend and not going with what I truly believe in. None of Lone's projects have really just blown me away like it's blown other people away. The potential is most definitely there. I see the hints of talent, and he has a lot of great singles to go on top of that. But if I feel like somebody is slightly overrated or doesn't really deserve that much hype, I'm not going to really bite my tongue. It was kind of a struggle putting D Savage on this list because you can really throw him anywhere, to be honest. And to be honest, yeah, I kind of did D Savage dirty putting him at the number 6 spot. When truly, D Savage hasn't really missed on any project he's dropped. At the number 5 spot, I had Jace. This had a lot of people upset. Jace quickly became one of my personal favorites in the underground about 2 years ago. Jace's melodies are probably the biggest earworms and probably the most addicting sound in the underground. When you hear that preset, you know it's Jace. Jace definitely would have been higher on this list had he given something more in his debut album. Reverence was cool, but it didn't really give me anything beyond that would just let me know, like, okay, Jace is really here to stay. It didn't really give me that. It gave me the bangers that Jace always delivers, but nothing to carry me on to the other side. Now at the number 4 spot, I have Summers. Now when Summers first came out, I hated his music, and I got cooked on TikTok for that. But I kind of began to warm up to his music around 2021. And I'll be honest, Nothing More, Nothing Less didn't even do it for me on the first listen. It kind of took what we have to kind of warm me up to Summers music a little bit. And as time passes on, I kind of warmed up to Nothing More, Nothing Less. It actually is like one of my most, Nothing More, Nothing Less is probably the biggest album I've changed my opinion the most on. But yeah, things were going good. I started to warm up to his music. He would then drop Fallen Raven, which was another really good project. Then he would go on to drop Stuck in My Ways the next year, and it was, okay. Then he dropped Ghost. Yeah. Now to the number 3 spot, I had Autumn. It still annoys me to this day that the entire underground fan base as a whole turned on Autumn just because he started beefing with Yeet and Can. It was some of the dumbest shit ever. When Autumn is more talented than both of these niggas. A lot of people like to say Autumn had fell off, in which I believe he never really lost his step. He took a chance with trying to drop something like Antagonist, and a lot of people didn't really like it. But I kind of felt the message he was going for. Golden Child 3 is an absolute beauty of work and probably one of the best albums this year. So yeah, Autumn was probably serious when he asked y'all who the fuck told you I fell off. Now at the number 2 spot I got Lancey. Now this is a real curveball. I don't understand the Lancey hate. I truly don't. Lancey's probably the only artist that takes a step out of the usual shtick that most underground artists use, other than people like Tony Snow, and he just doesn't get the credit for that. I would never understand. If you were to ask me for my top 5 albums for the past 3 years, Life in Hell is going to be in that list. I'm not going to lie to you. He shows a lot of versatility in this album, brings an alternative side to it, even is actually rapping on some of these songs. But yeah, if you're a Lancey enjoyer, please let me know in the comments. His work gets overlooked way too much. And at the number 1 spot, I have Ken Carson. Now, other than Yeat, which he is obviously no longer underground, Ken Carson is probably the second person of the newer artists that I listen to probably every single day. I would say probably the only flaw that's in Ken's game right now is versatility. But other than that, his game doesn't really have that many holes. I mean, he's obviously going to give you that energy. He's going to give you a bar every song that you like. And his beat selection is just one of the best. I feel like it's not really much of a hot take to really put him at the number 1 spot, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, since Destroy Lonely is mainstream and some people would consider Pierre maybe mainstream, we can probably take a few people out this list. We can probably take Lone out, we can probably take Pierre out. Shit, we might as well even take Ken Carson out. Now for Summers and Autumn, it kind of gets a little tricky because they haven't really made that super burst onto the scene yet, but they have that recognition. So do you really consider them underground? Or do you consider them mainstream? Or is there a middle ground? Either way it goes, I still think that duo will be the next people to blow up and get that same attention that Ken and Lone is getting right now, because they honestly deserve it. But yeah, a lot of these artists on this list are getting a lot of attention now, and soon enough they will be pushed out of the underground. And which leads to the question, do we need to start scouting and putting more newer artists into our list, or do they need to make a big boom onto the scene that the current state is making? Artists like Highway, Yapo JJ, and Hard Rock, I can see their names be putting onto this list very soon. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Let me know if there's anything y'all need to comment on. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know if I hit on the points pretty clearly. If I didn't, let me know. But yeah, it's your boy Go Mill, and we out.
I need that emo real quick.